Wild and Avalanche. It's game 5, a potential elimination game for the Minnesota Wild. Will they stay alive? We'll find out. We'll talk about it. We'll talk about prop sides, totals, all kinds of good stuff here on the show. Updated series prices, Montreal and Buffalo. Hey, we talked about it yesterday. Had a feeling that series was going to be a long one. Buffalo bounces back in a big way. They get the job done. And how about those Vegas Golden Knights? They get the job done in overtime fashion. Speaking of which, that was my best bet yesterday. 4% play plus 112. Ducks under 2.5 goals. Forget about the money line price. We'll take that plus price on the team total under. 2-0 day for me yesterday, plus 31 units on the month of May. We are rolling right now. We got a great show ahead. I'll tell you another one that is rolling. And Carmine, you are rolling as well. We sound like Lawrence Pressman here, so I'm going to just pass it over to you. How are you, my friend?
Yeah, I'm good, man. If I was the Prez, this is what I would do right now. Guys, I'm telling you, you got to be playing my NHL right now. Number 2 at WagerTalk in the NHL playoffs, up over 25 units. I'm telling you, if there's one play you have to play, it's my play in tonight's NHL game. Does that sound like him?
Yes.
It doesn't really. I don't know. But I digress. Yeah, man. A good game yesterday. Could have gone either way, that game, Andrew. I was on the Sabres plus 114 in that game. So I'm glad that they cashed for clients as a best bet. But that game could have gone either way. It is one of the ones where a freak goal. And I've won a couple of games with freak goals. One went off the glass, the cameraman's glass. This one went off the stanchion. It is so weird, and it's tough for goalies because that's like what, 1 in a million that thing is going to happen. You know what I mean? Like I think Dobish was getting ready because he saw a Sabres player coming in off of the left wing. I believe it was a left or right wing. So I think he was positioning himself. That if the puck made it across, he could either stop it or what have you. But weird goal for them, but it doesn't lessen the fact that the Montreal Canadiens played some very good hockey last night, and the Sabres power play somehow scored a goal. Anytime I yell at the TV, Andrew, like, this power play sucks, they score a goal during the power play. So maybe I need to do that more often or what have you. But we get to see at least 6 games in this series, and I'm kind of hoping for 7. You know what I mean? You have to too. I get you. You're a Montreal fan. I'm a Sabres fan. We would like to see our teams win it in 6, but 7 is just, it is the epitome of what playoff hockey is. Game 7, overtime, 3 or 4 overtimes, and then the Sabres win.
And both teams win game 1 at home of the series. And of course, then the road team wins the second game of the home ice. So it goes to show, look, home ice can be a factor, but at the end of the day, it's all about how the team plays out there. And look, people are going to argue, oh, that penalty, this or that. Look, both teams were reckless with their sticks. I don't want to hear anybody arguing with me about high sticking calls. The Habs got a 4-minute double minor. The Sabres got a 4-minute double minor. If you put your stick on someone's face, I don't care if they flop around like a fish, it's still a high sticking call. Montreal with just 1 power play goal. I believe they were 1 for 7 or 1 for 6. Can't win games like that. Your Sabres, look, lucky goal on that bounce, but Zach Benson still scored a great power play goal. They deserved to win that game. Carm, I'm looking forward to the rest of that series and the way these teams are going to battle it out. And I'll tell you what, man, it's pretty cool that you and we've got that great PuckTime BOGO special, and there's becoming fewer and fewer games on the schedule, of course, but yet you and I find a way to not be going against or even on the same games.
Yeah.
A lot of the nights here. Last night, you have Buffalo. Last night, I have a winner in the Vegas and Anaheim game. So anybody that bought that PuckTime BOGO special, you guys are cashing tickets. So it's kind of nice the way that's worked out. We haven't gone head to head the whole playoffs.
No, and you know what I mean? Like it's bound to happen at some point, but with the BOGO thing, because you don't want to leave a playoff that you think, because we actually don't even discuss a lot of the times what we have. And it with the BOGO one, it's a little tough because you might end up one day where we're on different sides, but we also approach each game differently, whether it's team totals, or sides or regulation. So I think that's one of the reasons why we never end up on opposite ends, but we still owe it to our long-term clients, both all access and the ones who bought the NHL package for the whole year, to give them the play that we like and not stay off of a play because somebody else has a different play. That's not the way it works, but I get it. And to the point of someone said that goal couldn't be proven, the one that was in Dobish's glove. Yes, it could. That's why they called it a goal. It took them a while. They had to look at every single angle, but it was clearly in the back of his glove, in the net. It was a goal. It was just a matter of whether there was goaltender interference. And as Marty St. Louis pointed out to the ref, it wasn't just one goalie interference. There was two goalie interferences on the same play. So they were going to get one of them right. They had to get one of them right. And I think at the end of the day, it's tough for Sabre fans because, they end up winning the game, but they would have loved to have been up 2-0 in the game. But rules are rules. And without rules, there's chaos, Andrew. So with that said, will there be any chaos tonight in this one, Andrew? And I am going to go to you first. Minus 216 on the Avs, plus 175 on Minnesota. Total sits here shaded to the under, 6.5 at 117, 104 to the over. What are your thoughts on this one?
Well, I just think that when you look at this series as a whole, you'd probably would make the argument that Minnesota wants to play to the under. Nobody wants to go goal for goal with the Colorado Avalanche. The crappy part is, and I talked about this yesterday, the Minnesota Wild put up 6 goals in game 1, 6 goals, and they lose 9-6. That is very, very tough for a lot of people when, you go ahead and you're like, okay, look, we played our best offensive game. We're probably going to play up the series, but we still give up 9 goals the other way. The fact is, though, I don't think Minnesota can beat Colorado in a low-scoring game. They're going to have to show up offensively. And I think that when I talk about elimination games, a lot of times I do talk about the third period over fact, the live over fact with this. But I think this game could see some chaos. I think we could see some goals here. I'm going to go first period over 1.5. Typically I talk about third period overs and the empty net goals being a factor here. But I think we're going to get goals throughout. But specifically, we need to see a spark from the Wild as far as their desperation, but also Colorado being back at Ball Arena, being back at home. And if you take away the empty net goal, it's now been like 2 or 3 games in a row where neither Natchez or McInnis has scored a 5-on-5 goal. We had Parker Kelly, Ross Colton, and Nazem Kadri, score goals last game. Those were the 5-on-5 or the even strength goals. This team is so deep. I think in order for Minnesota to be able to stay alive in this series, they're going to have to channel their inner goal scorers and find the back of the net. I do not think, Carm, this can be a snooze fest, boring game as much as they would like it to be. So I've got some props for you in this game, both unders and overs and stuff, but I think this game starts with a bang. Wouldn't be shocked to see both teams score in the first period as well. But what do you think, Carmine? You got to be frustrated if you're Minnesota because Colorado can beat you one way. They can beat you the other way. They can give up 6 goals. They can score 9 in the exact same game. I mean, what are you thinking right now if you're Minnesota?
Yeah, it's one game at a time. It's all you can think of. When you're down 3-1 in a series, all you can think about is game 5. Let's win game 5, get it back home, and see if we can extend this series out. If you go in thinking you're down 3-1, I think it sort of defeats the any possibility of having like sort of positive vibes going into a game. Just go in there and say, listen, we've won in this arena before. We can score. We've done it pretty much all series long. We just need to clean up some of the mistakes that we're making, whether it's taking penalties, whether it's giving odd man 2-on-1 and 3-on-2 rushes. This series, and Andrew, I agree with you on the first period. 3 of the 4 games in this series have seen the first period go over that number. There's been a minimum of 6 goals in every single game, and that's why the total sits here at 6.5 while it's shaded. And I took the under in 2 of the games. I went 1-1, and the one that I lost, it was a 200-foot empty net goal that with 4 seconds left in the game that killed it, or else I would be 2-0 on the under in those games. But I just liked how those ones shaped up. But you look at the core numbers or the numbers, Andrew, through these from an analytics point of view of these 4 games, and the numbers stack up for 4 games pretty much equal to what the Carolina 8 games that they've played thus far, including their opponents, Ottawa and Philadelphia, have been. Scoring chances, Colorado, I think it's like 135 to 105 scoring chances. High danger chances, 38 to 37. XG, Minnesota's created 14, just north of 14 expected goals in this series, and they've scored 15 goals. So they're right in line with their numbers. They're getting chances, they're creating chances, and they're scoring. Problem is, so are the Avalanche. So with that said, maybe get away from the norm of wanting to play the under in this one in a closeout series, but I do think the first period goes over the total.
And just overall, I think, Carm, when you look at the lack of scoring from the Minnesota guys all around, the center depth, Eriksson Ek has been a big miss for this team. You know, I think he might not be the most household name, I guess, by any means, but he is a great player for the Minnesota Wild. You miss him, you're missing a 200-foot player. You're missing a goal scorer. You're missing a face-off guy. You're missing a guy that does a lot of stuff for you. So we'll see what the health can bring him if they can extend the series another game. But he is not going to be in Colorado. So they're going to need other guys to step up. And, you know, when you look at the expression, you know, throw the kitchen sink at a team here, you're not going to just need the Kaprizovs of the world to score, the Matt Boldies of the world. You're going to need other guys to step up and find the back of that to score a little bit and create chances a little bit. So this is why I think we're going to see every single line throwing pucks at the net and trying to create chances. And I think there was an over you might have had as a 5% play, or there was a play earlier in the playoffs. I believe it might have been Carolina and Ottawa early on in the playoffs. There was like a elimination game, or it was game 3 or game 4, where, you know, we had some late desperation where Ottawa got a goal and then Carolina got a goal and then an empty net goal. Yeah. I mean, that's what happens in these elimination games where people think that there's going to be, you know, such low scoring and hesitancy, but sometimes you got to just lay it all out on the line. And that's what it comes down to.
Yeah. I don't remember what play that was, but I do get it. You know, you look at, I think the last game between these two, and I wanted to mention it the next day on the show, or the next show after that game, where I would have said, I feel really bad for anyone who had the under in that game. I didn't, thankfully. I had Colorado in that game, but 2 empty net goals in the last minute. And then there was a goal 2 or 3 minutes earlier in that game. That score was 1-1 at the end of the second period. It was still 2-1 with just a little over or just a little under 11 minutes left in the game. And you would think at that point, teams are locking it down for the most part, but the game still ends up on 7 goals, and you had to feel bad. Those are the ones where sometimes in the world of betting, you pull your hair out unless you have none. It is, you've got it perfectly right, and then something goes wrong at the end. You know what I mean? It is just a freak of nature sometimes, and last night's game is no different. If that puck doesn't go off the stanchion and catch him out, it's still 2-1 Montreal. And who knows? It could have very well finished 2-1, 3-1 Montreal. with an empty netter. So, Andrew, I keep saying this. I got to get a shirt that says this. It's like a season like no other. It is anyone who's a traditionalist that just sticks to the top teams and says, "Oh, I'm going to bet Florida every game because they're defending Stanley Cup champions. I'm going to bet the Leafs because they never missed the playoffs. I'm going to bet the Rangers. They're going to bounce back." Those people just they've taken up second and third jobs. They have to, because this season has proven that any team can beat any team on any given night. And that's why I wouldn't rule out the Minnesota Wild in tonight's game at plus 175. They're coming in there. Draw a line through that first game, the 9-6 game. You're not going to see 9-6 games in the NHL playoffs. But what you are going to see is absent of that, of a bunch of empty net goals, Minnesota was in game 4. They were still in that game until the very end. So this is a team that's not going to give up. They're not going to go in and they're not going to spit the bit, to use a horse racing phrase, and just give up. They're going to go in there and give it their all tonight, trying to stretch this out because it's one game at a time for them. So as you said, the guys need to step up. And the Eriksson Ek one obviously hurts or whatever. I think they stuck a 19-year-old in his place, I think. So that's got to be tough as well, too, as a 19-year-old filling in for a very good player. And then you're staring across at Makar, McKinnon, Nishkinen, you're at Landeskog. You're looking at all these guys and thinking, why me?
Yeah.
So
why me?
But
and Karma, this is one of those scenarios too where people also say the hardest one to win is the closeout game. So it's not like it's going to be easy for Colorado by any means, but very curious to see how this one comes out. I think that at the end of the day, Minnesota's going to want it to be low scoring, but I just don't know if it's possible for that to happen. Is really the case when it comes down to it. Carm, let's get to the story here of the day. Here, you got a 5% MLS play to get to here. MLS 10 is the code for $10 off Carmine's play here, guys. Once again, 5% MLS play. Not just hockey, but soccer as well. Carmine's on a really good run lately. It's the spring. World Cup is almost here. Don't forget about the MLS. We got all kinds of sports going across for both of us. And hey, you can use that great 30-day deal right now, though. Get $100 off a 30-day pass. Throw in an extra 10 days. Get Carmine Soccer. Get Carmine's NHL and anything else that you release. But, guys, that promo code is MLS10 at WT.buzz/CB.
Yeah, I appreciate it, Andrew. World Cup right around the corner. Domestic leagues finish in 2 weeks' time, and then we have like the Europa Conference League, the Europa League, and the Champions League finals. And I'm going to do the same as I do every year. I've done every year for the last 6 years, I think, 7 years, is my play for the Champions League, along with a bunch of game props as well, too, will only be $1. $1. I do that as my customer appreciation. You're never going to find a lower price than $1 other than free. And we can't do that. So you have to have a WagerTalk account, and it costs you $1. It's less than the price of a coffee or one of those Timbits or whatever they call them in the States, donut holes. I don't know what they call them. Here they call them Timbits, little round circular donuts of love that add to the love handles as well too. But MLS had one on Saturday. It was as easy as you can get. I had Inter Miami, even money against Toronto. That line actually closed at around minus 120, minus 130. And I told people in my analysis, Andrew, that the books have this number wrong for the time being until Toronto actually lets people know what their lineup is. I knew that at least 7 starters were injured and would not be playing for Toronto. And Miami got out to a 4-0 lead in that one, and then sort of pulled back the reins and won it 4-2, an easy one. So let's hope for another easy one tonight. Anyways, Andrew, let's talk some series prices, man, because there are some good ones here. So let's start it off with Montreal and Buffalo. -1. This is essentially a coin flip. And it's a bit of a surprising coin flip. But if you remember, at the beginning of the playoffs, the series price before game one was -110 both ways. The Montreal Canadiens were getting a lot of respect, and rightfully so, for coming off a big series win against Tampa Bay. They were -110. They're only -105 now. This is a 3-game series now. And if the Canadiens play like they played thus far in at least 3 of the 4 games, Andrew, there's a good chance they can go into Buffalo, win game 5, and come home with a chance to clinch this series. I'm not saying this just to make you happy. I'm saying this as a fan of the game and watching it, that I think that Montreal has a very good chance in Buffalo in game 5. What are your thoughts on this series price?
Yeah, I'm a little bit intrigued, Carm, because there are 1 or 2 books that have actually flipped Montreal to -114, 115 favorites in the series. And I got to admit, I was a bit surprised with some well-respected books, seeing as Buffalo has regained home ice. So it's one of those things, of course, shop around for whatever you'd like. If you like Buffalo, go to certain books. If you like Montreal, go to certain ones here. But Carm, look, I think that it's been proven that home ice advantage can only get you so far. You know, like I said earlier, both teams have won 1 game at home, 1 game on the road each. Montreal has not lost back-to-back games since March 14th. So you have a feeling this game is going to go 7, this series. And the crazy thing is, if you go back to even before the playoffs, Montreal is win 1, lose 1, win 1, lose 1, win 1, lose 1. And the only crappy thing is, if you follow that pattern at this point, that might not work out very well for them as it goes into the next one. Well, it could actually. It could work out if they
the series. It would work out. They would win it in Buffalo in game 7.
Might not work out for the rest of the way, but could work out for that. So, look, I think this series is going to go 7 games, Carm. I do. But if you follow that mantra that they haven't lost back-to-back games, you take Montreal at this current price. Obviously, that number is not going to be there if they get the opportunity on ABC, a huge, huge opportunity, Carm. I'm not sure if you saw that, or actually you spoke about it with me yesterday. ABC going to be hosting and broadcasting the game Saturday night, Bell Center, game 6 in Montreal. So, look, I do think that there is value on the Montreal Canadiens. I'm not saying they win the series, Carm, because I've seen some lack of execution that has me worried as a fan. Do I think that they go back to Montreal with the 3-2 lead? I think they do because of what they've proven. Jakub Dobeš off a loss. I think it's a 1.25 goals against average, something like that. So that's what I'd look at. But we'll talk about that game tomorrow. And I really look forward to getting to that game with you. And it's crazy because as much as I was complaining, and man, oh man, it's been great for my engagement on Twitter. I absolutely love it. But as much as I've been complaining about calls and Buffalo fans complaining about calls, that game could have had like 20 goals with how many power plays they were, but nobody could score on the power play. But when you look at the Vegas and Anaheim series, no Mark Stone. We were worried about it yesterday. Brian was worried about it as a Vegas guy yesterday. They find a way to get it done. Pavel, not Dorofeyev, Pavel Skorofeyev. He gets 2 goals on 4 shots. He cashes the prop bet of the day. So we come back and return in good fashion yesterday. They get the job done. Carm, I kind of get the feeling that even though the series is 3-2, Vegas isn't really nervous at all. They look pretty calm, and it seemed like it was a Tortorella coached game yesterday.
Yeah, I think so. I'll be honest with you. I look at this price right now, and I'm just trying to figure out whether taking Ducks plus 330 or just a money line rollover bet on the Ducks might be worth it. I get it. Vegas Golden Knights are up 3-2 in the series. It's shifting back to Anaheim, but Anaheim was in this last game, and ended up losing in OT. And when games go to OT, you know how I feel on it, although this is 5-on-5 as opposed to 3-on-3. So it's not really a skills competition at that point. It's 5-on-5. And another good goal by Dorofeyev, especially considering he had left the ice injured as well too earlier in the game. But it's one of the ones where I just don't think the Ducks are out of it. So my thought process is would be this on the Ducks if I was going to play this this series. I think it's going to go 7 games. So if I take plus 330 on the Ducks, that means if the Ducks win Game 6, I have the Ducks at plus 330 in Game 7, and their price in Game 7 will probably be only about plus 135, plus 145 in Game 7, similar to what I think the line was yesterday, Andrew, in that game. So they have to win a game for me to get there, but I don't think the Ducks are done in this series yet. I think they can still win it. I think Vegas has done well to get to the point where they're at right now, but I think a lot of people had the Vegas Golden Knights taking care of the Ducks a lot sooner than 6 games. And here we are. We're entering Game 6 and possibly Game 7. So these are 2 series that could very well go 7 games, but something needs to happen before that. I would take the Ducks plus 330, only with an eye at it's either going to be dead after Game 6, or I'm going to hedge it out and lock in a profit, because there's no way the Vegas Golden Knights are going to be minus 330 or higher in Game 7. Just not happening in that one, Andrew. So I'll go with that.
Yeah, I'm curious. Like, obviously, the game went to overtime, so it was super close. What do we get out of Anaheim in desperation tomorrow? That's what we'll find out. I mean, I think the good news is they didn't really play. Like, Carter Hart played well. Don't get me wrong. That was part of my handicap with the team total under, but I still don't think that they had their best performance, and they kept the game close. So to your point with the series going 7, you're getting quite a bit of value there at plus 330. It's quite interesting to look at. So I think that when it comes down to it, though, if you like the Anaheim Ducks at this point right now, what I think you probably do is bet the series to go X amount of games, because then it's kind of a little bit of a hedge as well. Then you're not just betting Anaheim to win. You're betting the series itself to go X amount of games, 6 games exactly, 7 games exactly. Then once it gets to 7 games, you don't care who wins. You just care that it went to 7 games. That's all that matters to you at that point.
Yeah, and you look at it, and I'm just having a quick look at it right now, and the Avalanche series, which is tonight, to go it's 6 and 7 games. Okay, so to go 6 games, which means it ends tonight, Andrew, plus 320. No, it doesn't end tonight. If you think, sorry, I stand corrected, because tonight's Game 5. If you think the Wild win tonight, it's plus 320 for 6 games, plus 390 for 7. So you could pretty much bet both of those, and your lowest odds will be plus 220, and which is better than taking Minnesota tonight. Am I correct? At plus 175? If you're going to take Minnesota to win tonight, you might as well take those 2 future bets, plus 320 and plus 390. You're going to win one, you're going to lose one. So hypothetical, it ends in Game 6, and you lose a plus 390. Your plus 320 becomes plus 220. 220 is still better than plus 175. So if you like Minnesota tonight and you're planning on betting Minnesota, you should probably just take this series will go 6 or 7 games and make yourself an extra 35 to 40 cents on the dollar. Who wouldn't want to do that? Why
And
wouldn't you want to do that?
I hate to say this, but good luck betting on the Avalanche to lose 2 games in a row right now, right? So,
Yeah.
if the series price might look intriguing for them, but like you said, you're better off if you think they're going to win tonight. Maybe just take the series to go 6 games. We'll see how that goes. Looking at the Conn Smythe Award, Carm, look, every year I become envious of people that have gotten in early on this. And the problem is there's some people that wait and wait and wait to bet these until, game 2 of the Stanley Cup final. And I know a lot of people that they made money with Sam Bennett, Brad Marchand. They had all kinds of guys. And even when you look over the years, never forget that big one where you cashed a nice future on St. Louis to win the cup. Ryan O'Reilly won the Conn Smythe Trophy. The last time the Avalanche won the Stanley Cup, Cale Makar won the Conn Smythe Trophy, not Nathan McInnis. So let's bring it up and take a look at what we're seeing right now as McKinnon, Anderson, Makar, Hall lead the way. Right behind them, Blake Stankoven and Mitch Marner at 15-1 right there. Look, Carm, if you take a look at the Eastern Conference and how dominant the Hurricanes have been, when you look at how they like to play hockey, you would think a goaltender could win it for them. The only issue I have is that Colorado can score and Vegas can score as well. So Carolina is going to have to win some games against whoever they play. Maybe it's Minnesota, maybe it's Anaheim, but they're not going to win every game 3-2 or 3-1. So for me, that crosses Freddie Anderson off the list because they're not going to be and if they win the cup, maybe they'll need him to stand on his head, but I don't think they're going to win the cup unless Taylor Hall, Logan Stankoven, Jackson Blake, one of those guys steps up in a very big way. And it's really cool that 3 guys on the exact same line are the top guys right now for it. No Sebastian Aho out there, no Svechnikov, those guys. So I think there's value on the bottom 2 guys, and I'm not just saying it because of the big price. Stankoven at 14 and Marner at 15, especially with Stone being injured right now. A lot of value, I think, on Marner at 15-1. And wouldn't the Maple Leaf fans love that one after their coach got fired today, Carm? What a day for Leaf fans.
Yeah, Craig Berube was put on that raft with my good volleyball friend Wilson and sent out to sea. We'll see who comes in as the new GM there. But Andrew, I think Marner has value, obviously at plus 15-1, considering he leads the league right now in scoring in the playoffs. Like Stankovic, he's only played 8 games. He's got 8 points. 7 of them are goals, and he's been the first goal scorer in quite a few games as well too. So if you're one of those guys who loves betting first goal scorers, you take Stankoven to score 7 goals in 8 games. Very good for him. But I think it's one of those ones where, like if the Colorado Avalanche were to make it to the Stanley Cup Finals and play Carolina, and let's say hypothetically Carolina wins in 6 games, it could very well be one of those ones where Carolina wins the cup and Nathan McKinnon wins the Conn Smythe. We always think the Conn Smythe winner is going to come from the Stanley Cup winner, but we saw it just a couple of years ago. Was it not last year, the year before, where Florida beats the Edmonton Oilers, but Connor McDavid wins the Conn Smythe because he had like a zillion points in the playoffs. So it is one of those ones that does happen. Cale Makar, honestly, it just seems like he's been quiet this series. Maybe I'm missing something. He just seems quiet. Taylor Hall is having a very good playoffs thus far. 3 goals, 9 assists, 12 points. So you got to give him credit where credit's due. You always wonder if the Conn Smythe is like a popularity thing, Andrew, where you have McKinnon, let's say you have Taylor Hall, and they finished with the same amount of points, but everyone loves McKinnon, so he gets the award.
Well, 100%.
So.
I mean, yeah, but again, I we talk about Cale Makar winning it the last time. Like, it was not even a doubt that McKinnon was going to win, or Makar was going to win that. I thought that we saw it, and you know what it kind of reminds me of, for all you NBA fans out there. The first couple championships for the Golden State Warriors, Andre Iguodala wins MVP in the finals. We saw Kevin Durant win the MVP of the finals. It took a few championships for Steph Curry to finally win the MVP of the finals. So the first time Cale Makar wins it, then Nathan McKinnon is at plus 250 right now. So that's kind of interesting. If you want two long shots, I'll give you two long shots right now. We got a comment from Habs Relic. He says he got Dobish at 125 to 1. That's hell of a price if you got in that early. But if you can't look back, you'll look forward. 35 to 1 for Dobish. And don't worry, Carm, I didn't forget about your Buffalo Sabres, because I think this one's pretty interesting to look at as well. And I think that this price is unbelievable. If you take a look, well, there's two guys really. Tage Thompson is at 40 to 1 to win the Conn Smythe Trophy. But if you go all the way down, you can get Josh Doan at 250 to 1. All right. Ukko-Pekka Luukkonen, 150 to 1. So the only other guy I was really thinking about, but I don't know if it would happen with him, would be what's his name? The rat for Buffalo. What's his name?
Benson.
Benson. Yeah. And I think he could be.
I will say this, Andrew. I don't think there's a player on the Buffalo Sabres that would win the Conn Smythe unless they went to the finals, won it, and that player had just a phenomenal Stanley Cup Finals. Because it just seems like it's been a win by it's like win by committee. It's a different guy stepping up for the Sabres each and every night. So it's not one guy. It's not one star. It's not a McKinnon. It's, it's not a Kaprizov or a Robertson, or a McDavid. Tage is good. Tage can score, but Tage isn't the reason why the Sabres are in the second round of the playoffs tied at 2 in this series. So the one surprising thing, to that game, Andrew, was that the game yesterday was the Alex Lyon and Ukko-Pekka Luukkonen switch, where they went back to Ukko. I have to believe, and you can agree or disagree with me on this, if it was Alex Lyon in net last night and it was any similar performance to what game 3 and 4 was with him, they probably would have lost that game, or games 2 and 3. Ukko made some very good saves in that game to keep them in it at a time where if they fell behind by a couple of goals, they probably would have been toast. So the goaltending change.
Ukko reminds me of a basketball player that will miss the layup, but he'll hit a 45-footer. Like, that shot that Caulfield scored was along the ice 5-hole that simply can't happen. And then when there's a cross ice pass that nobody thinks he's going to save, he flashes the leather and makes the best save he can possibly make. That's what UPL does. Like, he makes these mistakes and you're like, how the hell did he not save that? And then all of a sudden he'll make a save that you don't think he's going to have. I don't know. He's kind of like that. He bends it like Beckham when it's the hardest shot ever. And then he misses the tap in, next to the net. So very weird. But Carm, I got one play to get to for the night. One more thing to add here to the show. Before I get to that, though, we do have that great deal, $100 off the 30-day all-access pass, plus 10 days for free. I'll tell you what, guys, on Friday, my World Hockey Championship plays start. If you guys thought we were done with hockey, this is a great time to bet on hockey overall. You're going to get NHL sides, totals, props. You're going to get World Hockey Championship futures, sides, totals, props. We made money at the Olympics. We made money with the World Juniors in December. We made money with the Four Nations. International hockey is something that I've done well betting for years, and a tournament is beginning from May 15th to May 31st. You guys can sign up at wagertalk.com, wt.buzz/am. Sweden, Switzerland, USA, Canada, Finland. We got all kinds of teams in that tournament. You guys can join me and get all of my plays. So not just NHL, Stanley Cup playoff plays. You're going to get hockey plays in the World Hockey Championships. We also have a great deal going for CFL, my Canadian football. You buy the CFL, and you're also going to get the rest of my NHL for free. Not to mention, we are on a 9-2, 5% run with NHL plays. We cashed last night with Dorofeyev over 2.5 shots on goal with the show. It was good to be back. First show back. We cashed a ticket. Let's do it again. Brock Nelson, even money, 1 point for the Avalanche tonight. Game 5, elimination opportunity here at home, Ball Arena. We're looking at Brock Nelson to get the job done. Look, it's hard to find even money on these Avalanche players, especially with a 6.5 total. This is a guy that will get the job done, whether it's a goal or an assist. I think Brock Nelson is our guy. Let's make some money here, guys. Those are my plays. We got a pretty good slate here today as well. Last night, I cashed an MLB ticket. I've got one baseball play for today and one NHL play. And Carm, I could be wrong here, but I believe we're on a combined 20-6 run in the NHL. Does that sound right to you?
Yeah. Well, I'm 10-3 my last the last 9 days.
Me too.
And for the NHL playoffs, 20 up 25 units. I'm second in the NHL. I know who's in first right now. It's the Prez. I'm still going to catch him before the playoffs are up because he's going to feel that he's going to look in the rear view mirror and it's like objects appear larger than they are. And that's me coming for you, Prez. Andrew, I like this Brock Nelson picture. Put that back up again 1 second. How can this guy not register 1 point when he's got a stick in both hands?
I didn't.
He's got an unfair advantage there. He's got a stick in both his hands. Of course, the guy's going to score a point. So you can whack it from the left side, whack it from the right. Dear God Almighty. I love the way you come up with these plays. Yeah, Brock Nelson, he's got 2 sticks. He's going to score a point. All right, we're good. That should be your analysis. Guys, if you go over to the free play section over at WagerTalk, you can search by sport or just go through them all. There's a lot of free plays up. I've got 3 of them up. One of them I mentioned on today's show at NHL, the first period of today's game. And then I've got a couple soccer plays up. One for this afternoon, a free play, and one for this evening in MLS as well, too. So you can find them over there, 3 free plays. Some great info there as well, too, from a bunch of cappers, baseball as well, too. For me, you guys saw that code, MLS 10 gets you $10 off the MLS play for tonight. Let's get another winner in the bag. 1 play up in the NHL and 1 in afternoon European football as well, too. So the 1 day all access, if you want to pick that up, or even that 30-day one, you get a bunch of plays, and I'm looking forward to continuing a very strong run. Andrew, what else you got going on, and close us out?
Hey, that's it for me, brother. Let's have a great day here, guys. NHL Game 5 play, best bet for me, 10-3 NHL run, but most importantly, it's only the 13th of May. I went away on vacation on the 1st. We went on a huge run since then, plus 33 units. If the Habs don't win tomorrow, Carm, I'm getting the next flight to Portugal. I'm going back because I had good luck while I was away. So far, hey, 2-0 last night. We'll take it, though, with the plays. Baseball and NHL. Let's have a winning night, guys. Don't miss Carmine's 5% play. It's been absolutely money with those, and I will see you guys tomorrow. Same time, same place, right here on Puck Time.